Hi, welcome to Coffee with Katie. Coffee with Katie is an initiative that I started to help simplify the financial conversation. I'm Katie Brown. I'm a certified financial planner and chartered financial consultant, and I've had the privilege of serving families for nearly 20 years navigate their financial landscape. Today, as we move into the new year, I would like to review with you the new retirement plan contribution limits. So if you have a 401k or 403b through your employer, your contribution limits for 2021 have actually stayed the same as 2020. You can contribute up to $19,500 if you're under age 50, and if you're over age 50, you can put in an additional $6,500 for a total of $26,000 again in 2021. For separate IRA or Roth IRA contribution, the deductibility and your eligibility to do those is dependent on your income levels, but contributing to a 401k does not exclude you from being able to contribute to a traditional IRA or Roth IRA. I often hear that question. There's a little bit of confusion there as to whether or not you can do both. So just to review, the traditional IRA and Roth IRA contributions also have stayed the same from 2020 to 2021 at $6,000 under age 50 or an additional $1,000 if you're age 50 or older for a total of $7,000 into either one. You can't contribute $7,000 into the traditional and also $7,000 into the Roth. It's a total of $7,000 into either one of those or a combination of the two. Now, they are subject to income limitations, as I mentioned. So a traditional IRA, normally the benefit of that is that you can take a tax deduction for contributions. But if you are married and filing jointly, you can take a full deduction if your adjusted gross income is $105,000 or less. That deduction amount begins to phase out between $105,000 and $125,000 of income. After $125,000, you can still make a contribution to a traditional IRA. You just don't get the deduction on your taxes, but you still get the tax-deferred growth. So it may make sense for your financial situation. For a Roth IRA, you can contribute to a Roth IRA if you're, and once again, this is if you're married filing jointly, if your income is $198,000 or less, or it starts to phase out between $198,000 and $208,000 in 2021. So if you cannot contribute to a Roth IRA directly, tune in for my next video because I'm going to talk all about Roth IRAs and some ways to kind of get around that. Before I close out here, just a couple of reminders. You have until April 15th to still make a 2020 contribution to your IRA accounts. And then after that, you can make your 2021 contribution as well. So you have a little bit of time to get those in. For anybody that has a simple IRA, those contribution limits have stayed the same as well in 2021 at $13,500 and a $3,000 catch-up for people age 50 or older. SEP IRAs, we actually did see a small bump, and individual 401ks, we saw a small bump from $57,000 to $58,000 as the maximum contribution. And the reason those are so much higher is because those accounts include both your employee kind of contribution amount and your employer contribution amount for the total. So I hope this has been helpful, and I always welcome any questions that you may have, so please feel free to reach out to me at kbrown@mooreandbrownfw.com. I'd love to hear your suggestions or your feedback. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.